What's going on, everybody? My name is Jacob Perry. Welcome back to the Wave of the World podcast. I want to take this time to give a special shout out to my Patreons. Patreon people, y'all keep me going. I appreciate y'all. You can always go to my YouTube page, Wave of the World podcast on YouTube. Click the link in the description or my Instagram page, Wave of the World Podcast. Sign up for my Patreon. You get a bonus episode every other week. I decided that with the format that I'm doing, I give the Patreon people more and they get an extra video every other week. This podcast will be a bi weekly podcast. I like keeping it that way just so, one, don't run out of things to talk about. And two, I like being able to hear feedback and apply it correctly whenever I am doing this. So, with that being said, I wanted to start this off with a Black History Month fact. It's still Black History Month. Y'all gonna hear it from me until February is over. We shouldn't limit Black history to February. One, because it's the shortest month. Y'all gave us the shortest month. Eensy peensy. We got 29 days here. You better take advantage of that 29th day. You understand me? Two, Black people are the start of everything. That's my personal opinion. There are facts that do support that as well. And I don't think you can ignore that, and neither will I. So the Black fact that I wanted to share with you today, Patreon people will be getting this early, a day early, but the Black fact for February 19th, 2020 actually happened not too long ago. It's still, it's not as far back as, like 1950, 1940 Black History fact, but in 2002, Vonetta Flowers, she became the first Black gold medalist at the Winter Olympics. She got it for bobsledding, I believe. And not so long after that, another Black man, his name is escaping me. I think it's Jerome. I don't want to butcher his last name, but he also won a gold medal 5 days after this beautiful Black queen won. And I just wanted to spread that Black fact with you. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about, speaking of Black people, we're going to keep it on that same train. I've been seeing a lot of comments from different people about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's daughter, Zaya, who was originally born a boy named Zion. And I think what different people have to understand is that you're not a parent. And if you are, you can't tell somebody else how to raise their kids. That's what makes us all different and unique. We all have different things that we feel is best for our children. And this is coming from a perspective that is not a parent. My parents raised me one way, but I can't go out and tell other parents how to parent. I learned that very early with my mother. Don't you do, no. I learned very quickly that you can't tell somebody how to be a parent because you don't know how you would react in that situation with your life and blood. I think that they're handling it very, very well. First of all, Zaya, she's a very well-spoken and very powerful person. The way that she is able to articulate her opinion and speak on what she's feeling, I think is very powerful. That's something that I struggle with from time to time. And she's doing this at 12 years old. 12. When I was 12, I played baseball. But when I was 12, I just wanted to know when my next game was, not if I wanted to be a boy or not. That was just me. But for her to be able to realize that at that age, I think is very powerful. And I don't feel like the people on the internet need to have a say on this. Let her do her, changes her mind, then she changes her mind. And just leave it at that. Whew. Speaking of being black, this is the third trend that I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. So this segment I want to switch to, it's called Story Time. And whenever I was thinking about this story, I was kind of thinking about, like how to tell it without sounding ignorant, I guess. But as a child, I think children not only pick up on the things that adults do, but they also tend to learn off of the people that are in their surrounding. So, like I said, originally from New York. When I moved to Tennessee, I didn't know what I was being dropped into. It wasn't my choice to move to Tennessee. And the people in my class were country as all get out. I had never heard someone talk with that much twang. One would say that the mouth was full of molasses. I'd agree. And when I heard some of these people talk, oh my Lord, they got me saying what they say now. Bless your heart, because I was just baffled. At the point in time that I came to Tennessee, my first class, we were learning how to multiply by fives. So I am under the assumption that we're all going to say the numbers out loud together and that everyone would sound, sort of similar. And I tell you that these country bumpkins in my class, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I felt like I was Tom Hanks in the movie where he's abandoned. What movie is that? Castaway. Castaway. That's how I felt. I was looking for Wilson, and I was upset. I did not want to be dropped into that. Whatever. I come home and I'm telling my mom how these children around me are. How would a young child put it? Crazy. I don't know. I don't remember what I said, but I do remember coming home and telling my mom that, and she died laughing because I imitated them just like I did for you. So fast forward, that was one story time moment, but I had another one that I reflected on as I became an adult. And if you're not watching this on my YouTube and you're just listening via a podcast platform, suggest you go look at my YouTube page for the visuals because you're going to need them for this one. So in 5th grade, a lot of my friends, since I played baseball and went to a school that was mostly white, they had the Justin Bieber swoosh hair. I'm not talking about Justin Bieber now. I'm talking about whenever he was still Usher's prodigy. And I noticed that all of them used to do this thing, to move their hair out of their face instead of using their hand because this was just cooler. So I thought that was the cool thing to do. So I followed suit. I don't care what I was doing, even if I was in the middle of a conversation, I'd just be like, with my whipping this hair back and forth. First of all, didn't have this hair. I had a fade because I had waves. But white boy hair flip. But it wasn't me. It was them, but it was me. You understand me? Now, when I tell you, I look back at that and I started, boy, I started laughing to no avail because I didn't realize that different cultures do different things based on who they grow up around. I'm interested to know if anybody watching or listening has ever had an epiphany. You know, when you got words, your tongue's like, nah, cuz we on something else. Have you ever had an epiphany where you did something as a child, you look back as an adult, and you're like, bro, I did that? Who did that? Not I. But I'm gonna admit it to y'all because I thought it was hilarious. Um, man, the white boy hair flip, but it was me, and I know white boy, I black boy joy. Whew, Lord, um, that was that. Um, I also wanted to take this time to get away from story time and to pay respect to Pop Smoke, Jeanette Dubois, and Esther Scott. I didn't really know Pop Smoke. I had just began to hear of him, and I didn't really listen to his music, but I knew that he was an up and coming artist. And something that I want to say about him is that most of the time, whenever these shootings happen or an artist dies, regardless of how they die, I feel like something needs to change. And I feel like something needs to change within ourselves and as a community. I don't feel like anybody shouldn't be murdering anybody, but Black people should never, ever, ever be killing your own kind. I'm anti Black on Black. Regardless of what the situation is, we have to support each other. I'm gonna leave it at that. Jeanette Duval, she was on Good Times. Wasn't really my time period, but I knew of her. I knew who she was. I think she lived a long, healthy life. She died in her 70s today. Also, Esther Scott. I have a funny moment with Esther Scott. I haven't personally met her, but me and my brother used to die laughing at the part in You Got Served. She was also in Boys in the Hood and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. The part in You Got Served when she didn't cuss Marcus Houston out, but she put the fear of God in that boy in the only way a Black mother could. Elgin Barrett Eugene Smith III. I got scared, and that's not even my name. I think that was just crazy. I felt all of that. All of that, what she said, I got nervous. I don't remember what the situation was, but all I said to the TV was yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, uh-huh. So rest in peace to those three people. Um, but on a positive note, opposite coin of that, this news just broke this morning about the NASCAR driver Ryan Newman. I apologize. I know who Randy Newman is. You've got a friend in me, and Ryan Newman's got a friend in his children. Ryan Newman was in the NASCAR wreck. Car flipped about 2 or 3 times, and he is walking out of the hospital today with his daughters. Thought that was very powerful, and pray that all of the families of the people that I just mentioned, I pray that you guys are doing well, and I just pray for understanding and healing altogether. Love you guys. Don't know you, but I love you. Now we're going to wrap this little potty up with a new segment I'm going to start calling Difficult Decisions. I heard a lot of people giving me feedback on the Mount Rushmore segment that I do, and I love the feedback. Can't always do Mount Rushmore, but I love the feedback. So this new segment is going to be called Difficult Decisions. Now, the way the format of Difficult Decisions is going to go, similar to Mount Rushmore, it'll be 3 to 5 um, 3 to 5 different things in one area of discussion, and you get to keep 3 or 4 or 5, and one of them has to go. So the first one that I'm going to do is Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. So, difficult decision. You get to keep 2 of the 3, but the one that you get rid of, you can never see again. Now, I'm going to talk about why I'm going to keep the other 2. Y'all don't come at me in the comments or on the podcast pages talking about how can you get rid of this. I'm going to talk about the good things of both, but the first one that I'm keeping off rip, Nickelodeon. The reason that I'm keeping Nickelodeon solely SpongeBob. SpongeBob Fairly Odd Parents. You can't tell me a better 2 morning show cartoons, 2 in the afternoon show cartoons, late at night cartoons that have been better than those 2. Also, fun fact, Fairly Odd Parents came before SpongeBob. It came out a year before SpongeBob. And it was up there. It was almost with SpongeBob as far as length, but I don't think SpongeBob will be generational because my generation is still using it for memes. And if we can still do that, it can be on for the next one. You understand me? Now, Nickelodeon also had Kenan and Kel, Cat Dog, Hey Arnold, Doug, Angry Beavers, Danny Phantom. That's a killer lineup. I could still watch all of those shows today and I'd be fine. Ooh, I got something in my hair. Y'all see that? So now, difficult decision. So I can keep either Disney Channel or Cartoon Network. Now, I want to say good things about both, so here it goes. Disney Channel. My generation grew up with the Disney Channel intro to the movies, where you saw all the different movies lead into the theater. Classic. Disney Channel has Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, That's So Raven, Phil of the Future. Oh, man, Phil of the Future. Wizards of Waverly Place. Disney didn't have as many popular cartoons. They did more sitcom type shows. But all of them I'd go back and watch. Recess, oh man, Disney Channel by itself, not the movies. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Twitches. Oh man, this is gonna be difficult. Now, Cartoon Network, we got Johnny Bravo, got Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans. Lord, I don't know if I can do this. Cartoon Network also had Toonami that came on after Cartoon Network was over. Toonami was the little, the little robot in the spaceship introducing all the shows. He was basically the DJ for Cartoon Network or for Toonami. He was the DJ. Here comes Dragon Ball Z. Oh man, this is gonna be difficult. If I had to get rid of one and keep the other, I'm mad y'all making me do this because somebody suggested this topic to me. I ain't gonna say the name because I'm gonna keep the innocence, but I blame you. If I have to keep one, it's gonna be Disney Channel. Disney Channel has way too many good movies that I can go back and watch today. And if I already got the cartoon shows from Nickelodeon, I don't need Cartoon Network. I'm sorry. Oh Lord. Whew, that was difficult for me. My eyes are sweating. All right. So end the show with a positive affirmation point. I wanted to encourage everyone listening to have a Zaya-like mindset, not let whatever anyone else tries to tell you deter you from what you know and who you are as a person. Go look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? What do I want to represent? Also, give flowers to the people that you love while you're here on the Pop Smoke thing and the Esther thing, the Janae thing. Number 3, we want you to not give up like Ryan Newman. Literally in a car accident like 2 or 3 days ago, and he's walking now. That is powerful, and don't let any obstacles stop you from pursuing your next goal, whatever the goal may be. And lastly, on my story time reflection, reflect on a time that you had in your life that you may not have thought about it in a moment, but now you can look back on it as a positive note, and it can in turn make your day, your life, or someone else's day, someone else's life be a little bit brighter in all of the negative things that happen in our day-to-day lives. I love you, and I'm out. Bye-bye.